Hey, we got Mr. Barry here. Barry Hat says hello. Well, welcome to Dumaguete, Philippines. Yes, it's a little breezy and windy. I don't usually hang out here too often when it's this breezy and windy. I don't like it when you can't hear me. Hello, Philip. How are you, Philip? Welcome, both of you, so far. Happy Thursday, Dumaguete, Philippines. Took a few days off. If you didn't notice, I didn't take days off my walking, but I did take days off of live streaming. Just took a little bit of a break, but I'm back at it. It's a beautiful day today. I mean, it really, really is. Definitely choppy, windy, but the breeze feels excellent to me. Feels really, really good. Barry, I don't know if I remember, but where are you from, Barry? And again, welcome. I'm all laced up and ready to walk. But yeah, happy Thursday. Freezing here with 6 inches coming Saturday in North Carolina. Wow. That's crazy. All right, Barry's from Nova Scotia, Canada. All right, I'll try to remember that. But again, I appreciate you being here. Like I said, it's beautiful here, but a little windy. Feels good to me, but doesn't sound so good to you guys. So, I see all things says it's still choppy. Yeah, but it's cooler. Like the humidity doesn't seem very high at all, but it's definitely a very, very beautiful day. I can handle it, especially when the wind blows further within the city. So I see all things. Thank you for being here. Michelle Pelletier's here. Good afternoon. Yeah, it's 12:40. 12:40 Thursday afternoon. Yeah, it is really nice though. I mean, like I said, today is like a super, super awesome day. Blue skies with a little clouds, but that's all right. Hey, Mayung Muto. Dr. Red Taco says, hey Mike, composed an intro for your live stream, want to see. All right, what's your intro, Dr. Red Taco? And nice seeing you here. Ringo says, where is this? This is Dumaguete, Philippines, Ringo. I'm going for my daily walk. I do this just about every day. But yeah, we're in Dumaguete, Philippines, Ringo. Michael Nichols says, hello, Mike. I remember you, Michael Nichols, I think. So many Michaels. Popular name. Not a bad thing, but popular name. Barry says 12:40 midnight here in Nova Scotia. Well, I appreciate you being here so late, Barry, when you could be sleeping. So thanks a lot. I greatly appreciate that. And Ringo's from New Hampshire. All I can say to you guys is stay warm. Definitely stay warm. Dr. Red Taco says, welcome to a new live stream of Castaway Drift. Experience the sights and sounds of Dumaguete, Philippines with your host and local resident Mike. Come walk the exciting streets of Dumaguete. Yeah, exactly. I like that. That's cool. I appreciate you posting that. And if anybody's new to my live stream, my name's Michael, from the United States, born and raised in Pennsylvania. Basically all my life with the exception of 2 years, I lived in Florida, which is my preferred choice. But as always, if I was still living in the United States, I'd still be working. I certainly wouldn't be retired, and I wouldn't be able to afford it. Ringo says, oh, I got the real CK with the heart. Thank you for being here, the real. Rufines Novita says hi. Ringo says, is it safe where you are? I mean, I feel perfectly safe. I'm, I'm as safe as I can be. I think no matter where you're at in the world, you should always be cautious of your surroundings. Here, United States, wherever you are. But I don't feel unsafe here. I never do. Actually, I feel very, very, very safe here. The locals, the people here are, I always say, is what makes the Philippines experience incredible and amazing. That's why I love it so much here. The people are so nice. The Real says, will you watch the Super Bowl? I don't know, probably not. But I'm sure if I were to watch it, it would be some, crazy hour of the morning for me to watch it. I guess the Super Bowl is usually what, 6 or 7 o'clock Eastern time, I think. So, I guess that wouldn't be too bad. I'd have to get up early in the morning to watch it. Quite honestly, I never thought that Seattle versus, what is it, New England? I would have never guessed that in a million years. But then again, I haven't paid too much attention. I'm just so busy doing other stuff. I always just enjoy, things that I can do here. I keep up with sports to an extent, but not as much as I used to. I have too many other distractions here. The Real CK said, "Subbed you, you are cool." Well, I appreciate you sub and hanging out with me again. I just like sharing my happiness, my inspirations here, living abroad in the Philippines. I really, really, truly love it here. It's a blessing for me, and I'm happy, and I meet a lot of amazing, wonderful people. Yeah, Bruce, you're right. Says it's hard to consume sports when you're off that schedule. It is hard. And quite honestly, the only sports team that I really pay close attention to, and sorry if nobody is a fan of my team here, but it's college football. I'm a huge Notre Dame fan, so I do make time at odd schedule, like morning hours. I do make time to watch them when they're playing. No Name says, "Do you miss America at all?" Of course I do. Of course. I mean, but at the same time, I'm very happy here. So I guess it kind of, I don't know, alleviates or distracts from the idea of missing home. I miss certain foods. I miss certain conversations and stuff like that. So I do miss being home. I mean, that's where I lived all my life. But it is fun and enjoyable to learn about a different culture and embrace the culture and meet new people. It is nice. I do enjoy it here. Hold on. Trying to get some of these. Bruce says college easier because Saturday morning earlier. Yeah, that does help. But sometimes I had to get up at 3 something in the morning, pretty early, because Notre Dame a lot of times has 3:30 games in the afternoon. Michelle says, like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell for daily notifications and lots of fun. I appreciate you even saying that. I keep it simple. It's just me being happy, going for a walk, showing you the ins and outs of Dumaguete, Philippines. And people, maybe they'd be inspired or motivated to live here someday, or at least not so much live here, but take a vacation. Just, broaden your horizons, as they say, and learn more about a different culture, especially if you've never been anywhere else, in your life, if you never tried anything. And I'd never been this far away from home. So, Ringo says, how much is rent there? Well, Ringo, that's a very popular question. And that all depends on your luxurious taste, expectations of a home. Depends on where you... Mayong Moto, how are you? Happy Thursday, beautiful weather. Hello. So, yeah, I did a video on my apartment, and if you want to watch it at any time, Ringo, you're more than welcome. It's my latest video. It's just an apartment tour, what I pay, where I live, what's all included. And it's only like a 10, 11-minute video, very short, so it won't take up much of your time, but it gives you an idea. Bottom line is my apartment's very small. I prefer it small, but I'm paying probably for location and amenities, which is a swimming pool and a gym. That's basically what it is. Location and security as well. You got security. Adrian says, where are you at, Honduras? I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines, Adrian. No Name says, are you really happy or escaping? I'm happy, No Name. I'm really happy. Listen, if I was still, for one thing, if I was still living in the States, I'd still be working. And here's the thing with me. I care about my health. I care about having a healthy life, and, people work to, have that expectation of retiring someday and enjoying it. I've seen a lot of my friends work, 65, maybe older. They didn't live very long after they retired, so they didn't even get to enjoy that part of their life. So for me, although I'm very healthy, that doesn't mean I can't wake up tomorrow with some sort of issue either. I mean, nothing's guaranteed in life. And you know what? I wasn't willing to risk, an unpredictable future. That's why I'm here. And of course I'm happy, especially when I visited here. Basically, I came here for a vacation. I didn't initially come here thinking I was going to end up living here more on a full-time basis. But then when I looked into things financially, tired, pension, savings, I was able to do it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start living my life now and take advantage of that now. I'm glad. Mayung Muto. So yeah, that's why. I hope that, but no, I'm not running from anything. I mean, I'm trying to have longevity in life and enjoying it. And I've met some amazing people here as well. People always ask, what's your favorite thing about the Philippines? It's the people. So No Name, yeah, I'm here because I'm happy. Where's that bro? Dumaguete, Philippines, Oso, Buko, Serna, Belila says hi. Bees Poppins here. Hello, Michael. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Yeah, the weather's great. Absolutely a beautiful day. DJ Kirby Puckett, my man's here. Topper says, are you retired? Yeah, I'm retired, Toppers. I am retired. No Name, I got your question. Jesus Guasciano says, Mangadang Hapon. I would say Mayung Muto at this time, almost Mayung Hapon. I guess after 1 o'clock maybe. Bruce says, how long would you recommend a first stay for if you were alone? And what's a good daily spend rate for just existing? I mean, when I first chose to come here, I was thinking a month, and then I was like, you know what, maybe a month's not long enough. So then I scheduled 2 months. Again, you have to be able to have time and be able to do it. Once I got to within 2 weeks of my final 2 months, I didn't want to go back. So I was able to extend, fortunate, had savings, and stayed here until March. And then in April, I turned 55. I was able to, with the company I was at, have an earlier pension, started at 55, and savings. And I'm like, you know what? I can live here and I can do this and I can start being happy now. So yeah, that's what I did. Mayong Muto. So spend rate for existing, I don't know. The consensus is anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 USD a month. You'd be perfectly fine. Still be responsible, manage your money. I mean, if you're a single person, 12 to 1,500, you can probably eat out every day. I think I don't eat out every day just because I prefer cooking, or I didn't eat out a lot even when I lived in the States. Um, Shell, let me get back down to the bottom because I don't want to miss. You have a lot of Americans there. Yeah, there's a lot of foreigners here. There's Americans, Canadians, UK, Germany, all over the place. There's everybody. And it's neat because obviously everybody all over the world, especially if you're a warm weather person, I always tell people if you're not really a warm weather person, you can come here and live here. But for me, I like being outdoors all the time. So I don't mind the heat. It doesn't bother me at all. Not running from, but EMR. I don't know what that means. Jesus Graciano says, what about Mexicans? I don't specifically, to be honest with you. Hey, Mayung, Hapon. Quite honestly, I'm not always out looking and just picking out where people are from. I kind of, I just enjoy meeting people. I'm not like picking out different cultures and saying, oh, he's from here, he's from there. Everybody's the same as far as I'm concerned, so I kind of don't look at that. I mean, I guess if I think about it, I think I've met quite a few. I don't know if I've ever met anybody from Mexico, but I wouldn't rule that out as a possibility. Well, yeah, running to happiness. There you go, Mark. Yeah, I like that. Mary says, absolutely disgusting. All right, Mary, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't think it's disgusting, but Callie Love says, do you need sunscreen? I wear like natural zinc sunscreen on my face from time to time. But me, like, my skin kind of seems like it's adapted and gotten darker as I've been here over time, so I don't really burn. Yeah, that's one of those things, adapting to the heat, adapting to the strength of the sun. But I wear a cap, like right now I have a cap on. I have my glasses on just so I can see, but yeah, use all natural zinc sunscreen, basically just on my face and my ears and stuff. David Golden Eagle says, in my area, very few Americans, but in Dumaguete, quite a few. Yeah, there are a lot, and some people, they might not like that. Like some people have said, they prefer to be in a location where they're more of a minority and there's not as many foreigners. So some people like that, and that's fine. It's whatever anybody likes, that's to each his own. I'm okay with it. It just shows me that a lot of people from other countries enjoy Dumaguete. There must be something to like about it if there's so many here. But then again, some come here and leave because they don't like it. You got to find a place that fits you. Donald Thompson says, I bring in $2,000 a month. Can I enjoy retirement there? There will be a nice woman. Donald Thompson, you'd be fine with $2,000. You could actually save out of that $2,000 if you budget it right. Again, it all comes down to what are your expectations? How luxurious of a apartment do you need? They are cheaper here, the rentals of homes and apartments, but you can spend as much as you want. But $2,000, in my opinion, is more than enough. Schlesinger says, where is this? This is Dumaguete, Philippines. This is Dumaguete, Philippines. Michael, let me see here. Mayong hapon. Michael Ford says, you're the same age as my brother. He retired and moved there too. Well, good for him. What part of the Philippines is he in? Is he in Dumaguete? I'm trying to go back. It says, does your wife work? She works here and there, not really. Some girls here, younger, depends on their age, college educated, some of them not, and they do whatever job they can find. But no, not all, she doesn't work consistently. She did. She was helping another family of ours out, friends, more or less as you can call it a nanny. Um, uh, are groceries cheaper? If you go to the public market, I don't do a lot of the grocery shopping now. My girlfriend prefers to do it. She's a Filipina. Um, just to give you an example, you can get a dozen, or not a dozen, 30 large eggs at the public market for 300 pesos, whatever 300 pesos is equivalent to. Hey, Mayung Hapon, whatever 300 pesos is equivalent to between $5 and $6, somewhere around there. I don't even check it anymore, like really pay attention. It has been going up. The value of the dollar here has gone up, so that's a good thing. Do locals treat you well? Richard, they treat me amazing. Richard, question, do locals? Yes. That's the main reason I love it here so much, because of the people. Everything else, I'm a warm weather guy. I'm a beach kind of guy, tropical island kind of guy. All those things are great. But really what makes it special to me is the people, the community, the welcoming, the warm, welcoming, embracing of the locals. I have more friends here that are locals than foreigners here in Dumaguete. And I'm thankful, I love it, it's great. Plus when you're here, for me, why be in another country? I'm a guest here, always remember that. You're a guest when you're in someone else's country. Common courtesy, respect people, but for me, why be here if you're not out embracing the community and being out amongst the locals? And that's how you get to learn about a different culture. That's what's so neat. You know, I'm always eager to learn things. I don't know everything. I'm learning something new every day. Mayung Hapon. Where are you, says G-Man. It's Dumaguete, Philippines. Miss Dimple's here, and she says, beautiful weather. Yeah, it's beautiful today, Miss Dimple. Glad you're here. Mary says, what have you to offer these poor people? Well, first of all, not everybody here is poor. There are successful people here, the locals, that are very successful. I see poor people in the United States too. It's no different. Maybe the poverty is higher in some spots, but you know what? Despite those odds that are against them, they're the happiest, welcomest people. They're smiling. The majority of the time, they're all smiling. And that's what I love about here. So when you say what you have to offer, first of all, whatever I do on the side, as far as helping people and stuff like that, I would never put that on blast on YouTube, because I'm not here to take a megaphone and boast or brag about what I do from a charity perspective. I would never do that. That's something that should be private. You don't need to brag about or tell people about what you're doing. And but I'll just say I do something, but I don't really want to get into that, because honestly, that's nobody else's business anyway, and I don't want to be, I'm not looking for attention because I help people, if that makes any sense. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Brian. I'm not a self-promoter. Yeah. You know, I spread good vibes, happiness. You know, people are happy with less here. My eyes have been open. I was a materialistic person in the United States. That's what I was, which the majority of people are. So, yeah, sometimes people get too focused on materialistic things. You can't buy happiness. Hey! Mayung Hapon, how are you guys? Good day. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's what I enjoy here in the Philippines, is my friends, my local friends. And when I'm not live streaming and I go out on my walks, I still engage and talk with people more on a personal level. They're my friends. They give me time. They embrace me, welcome me. It's so easy to just common courtesy and give it in return. There's so much to learn about a different culture, and that's what I love about the Philippines. Richard, thank you. Oh man, that was very generous of you. Richard, I need to find your name on here again. So I always make people blue on here. But Richard, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate your generosity. I appreciate you simply being here and giving me a like. But yeah, I'm just me. I'm just genuinely me, sharing my happiness here in the Philippines. And but I greatly appreciate your generosity, Richard. That's why whenever you comment again, I'm gonna make you blue, like give you the blue jacket. That's the least thing I can do. Yes, this is the Philippines. They're Rufus and Onita. And hello, Derek. Welcome from Hawaii. Man, you're living in a good spot too. And I really appreciate you hanging out with me in the Philippines when you're in Hawaii. My friends are in there. Mayung hapon. Mayung hapon. He's the. Hey, Mabuti. I'll talk to you around later, but I just want to say hello. You're on. You can watch later. Amping. God bless you too. Yeah, but those are more of my friends that I make and meet as I walk around here in the Philippines. As I always tell people, that's what makes the Philippines special. The people. If you want to be in a culture, in a country where people are, for the most part, everyone I've met is super nice, super kind, super loving, super caring. Dumaguete, Philippines, or wherever you want to go. You can go so many different places. But again, if I were still living in the United States, I'd have to be working, unfortunately. That's just the reality. So I wanted to start my life sooner because tomorrow is not promised. I don't know what tomorrow would bring. So, health-wise, so I want to enjoy my life now. That's what I'm doing, enjoying my life now. Hello, Ray Ray, walking dog. Fortune says a lot speak English part of school from preschool. Welcome, Fortune. Sorry if I didn't see you earlier. Derek says, I head to Southern Leyte first week of April. Good for you, Derek. Edwin says, Duma Nation is your territory, Michael. I don't know about that, but I just really love it here. And like I said, if I wouldn't be doing a live stream like yesterday, I didn't do one. The day before, I didn't do one. I had so much fun just walking around and then engaging in conversation with a lot of my friends that are either working or they're out and about. Yeah, the last 2 days were great. I got to enjoy myself, without the live stream. But people here are amazing. I don't know how else to put it. And you respect them, they're gonna respect you in return. And why wouldn't you respect people? Why wouldn't you? Mayung hapon. Happy Thursday. But that's what you do. And for me personally, I've said this before, I wanted to start learning the Bisaya language here because I felt it was important, especially because I know I'm gonna be here. They appreciate so much when you speak in their language. Yes, a lot of them speak English, but for me, I think it's so nice and they appreciate when you speak their language in return. It's really nice. I like it. And the more, it's like anything, practice makes perfect. I'm trying to look for you again. I have to work or I'm frowned upon, says Matt. Yeah, heck, United States, unless you had money and you didn't have to work, I guess, yeah, it'd be frowned upon anywhere. Unfortunately, you got to survive. But for me, this gives me the opportunity to just enjoy life a lot earlier, be less stressful. Maybe I'll go towards the water now this time and back up around. But it's windy down this way, so if it gets too windy, someone just let me know. Again, I apologize if I don't see all the comments or questions. Between walking and trying to read it and not, getting in the way of somebody, it can be a little challenging. So my apology if I don't catch your comment or something like that. New York City says hi. Brian says, agree, David, and leave preconceptions behind, especially about Filipinas. Yeah, Scuba's here. Says, hello, Michael, enjoy your day. I'm glad you guys are all here. And again, I appreciate it. Still looking for Richard. Because I wanted to make him blue because of the generous super chat. I'm going back through, but it's hard to find it and walk. A-True says, how do you support myself? Well, wait a minute. I see Fort Wayne, Indiana. Welcome from Indiana. I'm a big Notre Dame fan. So thank you, Fort Wayne, Indiana, for being in Dumaguete, Philippines. A-True says, how do you support yourself? Basically, pension and savings. That's it. That's it. And whatever little, and I'd be remiss not saying, whatever little bit that I get from YouTube, that obviously goes towards supporting myself as well. But that wasn't taken into the equation when I first came to the Philippines. I wasn't thinking, I had an account in YouTube, but I wasn't like a vlogger. I just used it just to watch other content. And then when I came here, at the advice of some other people, they thought maybe I should try it. And I tried it, and now here I am. So yeah, I make very little from YouTube, but every little bit helps, as they say. What's a cost per month? Sammy, the coolest cat. Best advice I can give you is, if you have, I don't know, 1,000 to 1,500 as a single individual, you'd be fine here per month. I think the consensus seems to say 1,200 to 1,500, but obviously the more the better. But minimum, and I like it when Fortune chimes in, 1,000 to 1,200. But again, are you somebody that needs to go out to eat every night? Are you somebody that, I don't know, needs a very luxurious apartment? Yeah, see, Fortune, there you go. 2,000 is more than enough. Yeah, you could, from what I've learned from Fortune, you could basically be saving money if you had 2,000 a month. Again, I'm going towards the water just so you guys can see. But I apologize if it's too windy. Plus, it feels good to me. I get to cool off a little bit from the breeze off of the water, as long as I can get across the street, which usually it's not too bad. Mayong hapon. But yeah, it's beautiful here today. You can get apartment 200 to 400 depending on size and furnishing. And see, that's another thing. My apartment's furnished. You're gonna pay a little more for a furnished apartment, but you might prefer a furnished apartment because if you move, do you want to be hauling furniture somewhere else? Do you want to be trying to sell furniture somewhere else? So there's a lot of things you have to take into account when you're selecting an apartment. Do you need a place that has a swimming pool? Do you want a place that has a gym? It's all those things come into play. Wild Heart says, awesome. Yeah, it's beautiful here. I mean, so you can see the port over here. That's the port. Cebu Island is right there in the background. Sikihor is kind of hard to see because it's hazy. But you can take a boat ride from here and be in Sikihor Island in 30 to 40 minutes. Let me see. Wild Heart says, awesome view. Yeah, I come by here just for a little bit. This gets very active when it starts getting dark. Like vendors set up selling street food. People walk for exercise here. And then they also set up random karaoke machines, privately, personally owned, and they sing karaoke. But you can walk all over here. It's a great place for social, meeting people, restaurants all along here in the boulevard. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, and again, rentals are very inexpensive compared to I can only compare it to the United States, but rentals are very much less inexpensive here. Wow, I'm making enough money. I just retired, so I might be thinking this, says Luis Sanchez. Yeah, I mean, the worst thing that can happen is you can just come here and visit. Come here. like I said, there's so many islands to visit. You might like this one over another one. There's over 7,000 islands here. I don't know. Fortune might know this. Out of over 7,400 some islands, I don't know how many of them are inhabitable, but I would say you'd have a good chance of finding something that you liked. I mean, do you need to be in the city? Do you want to be just outside the city? Do you want to be out in the province, like a jungle-like setting? You have all those options. You need to be close to the ocean. That, for me, is something I like to do. I like to be close to the ocean. Chevy says, where is this? We were in Dumaguete, Philippines, Chevy. Dumaguete, Philippines. Jim says, my wife is from Bacolod. Philippines is an awesome place. I agree, Jim. I lived in Bacolod for 4 months, Jim. So the only places I've technically lived at several months would be Dumaguete, and then Bacolod, then back to Dumaguete. I just didn't have a vibe in Bacolod. Now, Bacolod has all the malls, Landers, SNR, SM Mall, Ayala Mall. Very, very, very much more city-like compared to Dumaguete for me. So I was much more comfortable being here in Dumaguete. Different vibe, obviously different language. They speak, what, Ilongo? I think it's Ilongo. And Negros Occidental up in Bacolod, I think. Leo Tyler says, do you have a vehicle? Leo, no, I don't have a vehicle. My vehicle is Shoe Leather Express. That's my vehicle. And that's another thing that makes, like, I already love to walk. I'm a walker. A walking fool is what some people call me. So also with Dumaguete, my apartment is only 1.5 miles from the center of the city. 1.5 miles might sound like a lot to some people. It's not. Everything's convenient enough to walk to and from here within Dumaguete. Very, very convenient for me. But again, you could have a motorbike. You could have a car. Heck, you could even have a pedal bike if you want. It's all depends on, you know, what you're interested in, what you want. That's what it comes down to. It's, you know, it's whatever, thank you. It's whatever you like. Fortune says, have I ever been to Texas? Yeah, a long time ago. Their food is excellent. I love Texas barbecue, that's for sure. Lovely Cosmos says, hi. SFM Mobile Mechanic, how was your day off Sunday? Actually, SFN Mobile Mechanic, and I appreciate you being back here again. Hold on here. I'm trying to get your name. Making you blue. But my Sunday off was really good. And then I was back Monday, but then I took Tuesday and Wednesday off again as well. I kind of just needed a break. I think it's different walking versus walking and doing a live stream from a mental perspective. It's kind of wild. You're trying to pay attention to where you're walking, but then I'm trying to pay attention as best as I can to the chat. And it's almost like you just get, I don't know, live stream overload a little bit. But I appreciate you being here. Bias City is north of Duma. Yeah, I've been through Bias. It's nice there. Bias up to Bindoy, I like it. It's nice through there as well. And actually, I think Bias City just got like a metro mall or something there. So they're building up, bringing some more, you know, convenient amenities when it comes to shopping and stuff. Because a lot of people that live in Bias or even Bindoy area up that way, north of me, they usually come to Dumaguete to do some of their shopping. But I think they even have a movie theater there now. So now they're kind of building up Bias where people, you know, they might not have to travel as far to Dumaguete to get things like they were before. So I did hear that recently. Have you ever been to Bataan, says one time. I don't think I've ever been to Bataan. Sometimes the names escape me and I don't remember, so I apologize, but I don't think I've ever been to Bataan. Appreciate the question, though. Like I said, sometimes people ask me if I've had certain foods, and I can't remember if I did or I didn't. And then Che, my girlfriend, said, "Oh, you had it. I just didn't specifically remember the name of it." Ken says there are no rebels there. They're very, very far on a different island even. Yeah, I don't notice any, I don't have any problems with people here. Like I said, it's first and foremost, whoops, sorry about that, it's a little loud. First and foremost for me, the best thing about living in the Philippines is the people. I will say that over and over and beat that drum over and over again. If you want to be surrounded by amazing people, I truly have nothing but respect for people in the Philippines. But nothing is perfect either, as is nowhere in the world is perfect, no matter where you live. Even where I'm from in the States is not perfect, so I'm not saying anything's perfect. Hey, mayong hapon. You just have to find something that's perfect for you and comfortable for you and what makes you happy, despite somebody else's opinion, which we're all entitled to it. But as long as I'm happy, that's all I care about. I don't, go to Manila. Yeah, I haven't been there yet. I have not been to Manila yet. I haven't even flown into there yet. M. Fozzie says, can you visit Cadiz City and make some streaming videos there? Maybe someday. That just depends on how well my data signal works. That's why I'm blessed to be here in Dumaguete. For the most part, it seems like there's Jollibee. Everybody knows the famous Jollibee. I'm lucky that I have a good video connection data here in Dumaguete, Philippines. Crystal, I'll just say Christy. Hello from Charlotte, North Carolina, Christy. Fortune, yeah, Philippines is divided into 3 big island groups. Harley's Piper says, been married to my Panay for 36 years. Congratulations, Harley Piper. 36 years. Congratulations. That's great to hear. Edwin says, only 2,000 of the Philippines islands are inhabited. The rest are too rocky or other problems keep them isolated. Well, that's good to know. Edwin, if I can remember that, that'll be great. That's another thing. I get overloaded sometimes learning so much information, probably more from my live streams. And then sometimes it all gets jumbled in my brain. And I tend to forget stuff here and there, not a lot, or confuse an answer with something else. But yeah, that's what I enjoy most. There's so much to learn about here in the Philippines. Kind of going back, trying to read these. Stell Life something says, Filipino ladies are almost the backbone of the UK healthcare system. Awesome attitudes and work ethics. They're saved and looked after me many, many times. That's a great comment, Stelly. Ken says, for those willing to migrate to the Philippines, learning the meaning of the word, I don't even know what that means. Harley Piper says, just subscribed. I appreciate it. Sorry for stopping. I try to read some of these comments or questions because I don't want you guys to think I'm ignoring you, because I'm not. It just gets hard sometimes to stay caught up. Vietnam is divided into provinces as well. Fortune says, so for Mike, Negros Oriental is the province. Province Dumaguete is the capital of the province. Yep. I have been off YouTube for a few days dealing with a cold at the moment. Well, I appreciate you stopping by with a cold. Mark says, freezing in New Jersey. Yeah, my I'm from Pennsylvania. Born and raised in Pennsylvania, so I'm very aware of you guys dealing with the cold weather and all the snow that you had and what. Mayong hapon. Dealing with all that. I don't envy you when it comes to cold weather. If I could give you a warm blast if you were interested in it, I would. But thank you, Mark DeStefano. Leo Tyler says hi. Hatton says hi. Hamble said, but Philippines is better to Vietnam. Yeah, you hear mixed opinions. Some people like Vietnam better, maybe the infrastructure, cost of living, better options with food. I mean, you just got to try and find what you like. Whatever clicks with you, then you'll go there if that's what you're interested in coming, living abroad in Asia. I could go visit somewhere else too and maybe like something else as well. I'm not, I guess, locked into staying in Dumaguete forever. That's why you rent. Maybe someday I will settle into a certain place or a situation, but for now, I'm more than happy just calling Dumaguete my home base, and then when the opportunities present itself to go out and travel somewhere, then I'll do it. But I'm perfectly fine no matter what I'm doing. I don't need to be traveling all over the place and going everywhere. Besides, I don't have the money to do that anyway. I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm Swiss, married 20 years with a Peni, still in love like first days. That M4 Crow Waka Waka, that's a great comment. That's a great comment. Mark Biaco says Iloilo is a good place. Yeah, I've never been to Iloilo yet. As close to Iloilo as I got was Bacolod. That's the closest I've ever gotten. Trying to see. Okay, I tried TC. You all. Fortune says, Lewis, not really. If a girl comes from well-schooled background, they pursue career. But if not, then what else will they do but get married? Yeah, there you go. That's true. NHA says hello. Now I see Chase here. Sorry if I missed you. Nick says, I'll keep praying for the better future for my country, unlike the current president. Nothing wrong with putting prayer in anything. If that's what you want, you should do it. Ken says, Philippines is an so many mountains and lakes and uneven. Most of the power comes from hydroelectric. That's interesting to know. I'm always learning stuff from you guys. That's another thing that I appreciate. Men, women, guys, girls, whoever's in here, I always appreciate you guys educating me as well, as long as I can see what you're saying. I'm trying to see here. I tried to give a nurse of mine some cash once, but she refused, so I brought her a card to use at a food chain instead, so she could have a nice lunch or food each day. That's so generous of you, Stellify. That's very nice. That's very nice. I'm freezing in Wisconsin, -8. Ay, ay, ay. -8 is very, very cool. But I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines, not far from Vietnam, but Rockenbach. Yeah, I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines. Mayum Moses says hi. Fortune says our nurses will provide the service and care for you. I know that. You're exactly right. They will definitely care for you here in the Philippines. We got Billy Barry says Cape Coral, Florida says hello. Welcome, Billy Barry. That's where I'd be living if I wasn't living in the Philippines. I'd be back in Florida where I lived for 2 years. I definitely prefer Florida. But if I was still living in Florida, I'd still be working because I couldn't afford to retire on my current financial situation right now. I couldn't afford that. Texas, yes, definitely the same reason. M. Falazi says, you cook at home or you eat in restaurants? We eat at home the majority of the time, and then we occasionally go out to our favorite restaurants whenever we're in the mood. I don't eat out any more than I did. I don't eat out any more than I did in the U.S., to be honest with you. I prefer to eat at home anyway. The food's better. You know what you're putting, you know what you're cooking with the ingredients. If I need a good burger, or I mean, I can even make my own of that too, but typically we usually go to Astoria here in Dumaguete, my favorite restaurant, Esturya, Astoria. They have everything from Philippine food to Italian food, they have everything in there. Mobile mechanic says, you take care, bud. I'll be back when I'm something. Rocky says Florida has cold weather coming this weekend. 30 degrees in Florida. Wow. Usually Miami can be safe when it comes to cold fronts dipping down, but when you're saying 30 degrees clear down in Miami, Florida, that's wild. That's wild to hear that. Man, all I can say is stay warm. Stay warm. Mike will mute you 1:30. My Zoom meeting coming. No problem, Fortune. No problem at all. I appreciate you hanging out and saying hello. Thank you. Appreciate it. No problem. Dead Rabbit says, are you retired? Yeah, I'm retired, Dead Rabbits. Yeah, I'm officially retired. And again, my only source of income is my pension and savings. That's it. And living here allows me to do that. But again, I didn't know the Philippines cost of living was much less expensive, so much less expensive compared to the States. When I was looking into the tropical islands and when the Philippines came up, I later learned about the cost of things here, which of course that weighed into my decision to come here, but I'm so much happier here. I just a warm weather guy. 80 to 90 degrees all year round, in my opinion, you can't beat it. If you mind, how old are you now? Dead Rabbits, 55. I'm 55 years old. Actually, I'll be 56 on April 6th. Not that I'm trying to tell people when my birthday is, but yeah, April 6th, I'll be 56 years young, 56 years of age, 56 years old, whatever you want to call it, but yeah. I'm 5'11" and a half. Just a hair under 6 foot. 5'11" and a half, unless I've shrunk. They always say people when they get older, they shrink. So you were in the service. No, Dead Rabbits, I wasn't in the service, but I must say, and I just want to I don't usually put my face on the camera, but I have the utmost respect for any men and women service members of our military. Those are guys, women, men are my heroes. Other than my mother and father, I always say my true heroes are the military. Yeah, ultimate sacrifice of those guys and gals. And if not for them, I probably wouldn't be living the life I'm living. I don't have heroes like Spider-Man or the Hulk or stuff like that. So yeah, my mother and father, and then the military. The average height for people here. Maybe, I'm just guessing, average 5 foot, maybe. I don't know. Like Che, my girlfriend's a little taller than some Filipinas, and some are shorter. I mean, they're definitely on the shorter side, but then you'll see some taller ones too. Average, I would only be guessing. Like I said, they might be below my shoulder. Definitely below my shoulder. Yes, great weather overseas says yes, Lamb Felix. That's why I'm here, a big part of it. Like I said, the people is first and foremost, but I'm a warm weather guy. I'd be living in Florida, hopefully, because I lived there before for 2 years. I'm from Pennsylvania, but I'm a warm weather guy. I'm happier with the sunshine. I was always happier in the summertime living in Pennsylvania, the 4 seasons and stuff like that. So for me, when I started researching about places that are basically warm all year round, here 80 to 90 all year round for the most part. I guess if you got some sort of blast, it could drop down into maybe mid 70s maybe, but I think the coolest I've ever noticed when I looked at a thermometer was like 73, 74. Yes, this is the Philippines. Ken says males 5'1" to 5'4". Females are 4'9" to 5". So I was close. I was guessing like 5 feet. You know, but occasionally you get a taller one. You know, something in her genes. You know, she benefited. They do like basketball here. They do play a lot of basketball. Pickleball is very popular here. But the basketball is very competitive. They really like basketball. I like basketball, but you know, I'd say it's very popular here in the Philippines. So you like Florida better than the Philippines, or you like the Philippines better? Well, Luis Sanchez, I like both, but the difference is I can enjoy the warm weather and the amazing people here in the Philippines and be able to be retired. If I was living in Florida right now, I'd still be working. So that's like a huge difference. I would enjoy being in Florida, but I wouldn't enjoy working, especially when, you know, you're saving up for retirement with an unpredictable future. I don't know, you spend a lot of time working until you get your whatever allotment of vacation that you have, and then it's back to the grind again. So here I'm able to just be happy and start all that earlier. Mayung hapon. Hello. So yeah, I get to start that earlier. I did meet another guy here. His name's Michael. He lived in Florida all his life, Lewis. And I was asking, we were comparing weather, humidity. And I only lived in Florida before for almost 2 years, so I didn't think I'd lived there long enough. But I asked him, I said, where do you think it's more humid? Here in the Philippines or in Florida? And he lived there all his life. He's in his 50s. He said he felt that it was more humid in Florida than it is here. Although the sun is stronger because you're close to the equator, he felt that it was more humid in Florida, and I found that to be interesting. Terry Davenport, you're right. I've had so many friends that I work with that maybe 60 to 65, some were older than 65 until they retired because they wanted to, and I get it, they wanted to save as much money as they can, get as much money into their 401k, retirement, and all that stuff. But I have several friends that worked with me that waited till later in life to retire, and they all passed away within a couple of years after retiring. Is that a coincidence? Maybe, but I saw a lot of it. I mean, I don't know what their health was like. I don't know, you know, their exercise or diet routine and stuff like that. So maybe that played into it too. But for me personally, I just wanted to be able to start it early because tomorrow's not guaranteed. And I know how good I feel right now from a health perspective. So I'm like, I'm gonna take advantage of this now because again, I don't know I could wake up tomorrow or something. You just don't know. And I wasn't gonna save up for an unpredictable future. And I wasn't willing to do it. I'm so glad, I mean, I'm blessed that I could do this now and be here. And I don't think I'm making a ton of sacrifices by being here. I really don't. And I'm happy. The people are amazing. And that's the best part about being here. With my $4,600 a month, I think I'll go for it. Maybe Cebu City. White bread, you basically, if Fortune was still in here, another one of my friends who's a mod, he goes by Fortune, if he would see that, he always says, if you have a $5,000 a month income, you're basically living like a king here. So if that gives you any idea, yeah, 4,600 would be more than enough white bread. So the worst thing you can do is just travel here and visit here and bounce around to some islands until you find maybe a place you're comfortable with, and then just rent. If you're a warm weather person, all that stuff, what's the worst that can happen? You just don't like it. And again, everybody's different. I don't know, certain people have pre-existing health conditions and stuff like that to take into consideration. Everybody's financial situation's different. But all I can simply say is the best decision I ever made was to come here and see for myself. And I'm still happy, well over a year's time in the Philippines total, and I'm still happy, enjoying it, meeting more people, enjoying the simple life, less materialistic things that I have, and I'm okay with that. It's been a real eye-opener here. But again, I'll beat it like a drum. The people make the biggest difference here. I don't know if I'd be as happy if I didn't have such a welcoming community. I don't know. I might not feel that. But here in Dumaguete, it's special to me, and that's why I like it. But that's just one person's opinion. Everybody's different. Jeff Johnson says, hey, white bread. Oh, wait a minute, I saw that. Yes, Dumaguete City. I'm 55 and 14 years of sobriety, retired. Well, congrats on the sobriety. I'm very picky about my diet, white bread. I don't drink any, I haven't had any alcohol, and I'm 55 now. It's probably been it's been at least 25 years. Now, I was just a social drinker. I didn't drink a lot. I only drank just probably more so peer pressure just to be accepted by friends. But when I drank, I always got a headache. I could drink a little bit and I had a darn headache. So drinking just didn't work for me anyway, despite I didn't really drink. So it wasn't easy for me to let go or give it up. I just started thinking, the health mindset. I walk 10 miles a day. Now, I don't walk all 10 miles on the live stream. I walk a lot slower when I'm doing a live stream, so it's not bouncing around as much. But I'm very picky about my diet. Don't drink, don't smoke. If it's not good for you, I don't put it in my body. That's kind of the way I am. Nikki says I'm missing out. I don't know what I'm missing out on, but for me here, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Quite honestly, I probably tell everybody else, if you're not here, you're missing out. Yeah, Lori, I was getting a hangover and I didn't even drink a lot. That was the bad part. Like, I wasn't even drinking a lot and I was getting a headache. So at least for me, it wasn't even worth it. Mayung hapong. Amping. So yeah, like I said, I couldn't even drink a lot. It wasn't like I drank a lot and then got hungover like everybody else. I didn't even, call it a lightweight, call it whatever you want. Something in alcohol, just headache. Josh, there's Joshua, says, I only get hangovers when I drink Sambuca. Well, there must be something in Sambuca that triggers you. I always tried to figure out what in the world triggered me. Must be, people thought it was the chemical that keeps the alcohol fresh or something like in there. Mayung hapon. Happy Thursday. Michael, sorry I'm always missing your lives. It's 5:40 a.m. I just going to bed now. Like, best wishes to you and Che, praying for your continued happiness, friend. Thank you, Sula. Greatly appreciate you being here. Zambales is northwest. Oh, Fortune's still here. All right. Hold on here. Fortune said, but save some of it if you really want to spend and live well. 3,000 is enough, and you can save 1,600 a month. Yeah, if anybody, Fortune knows his stuff. Certainly, I'm blessed and thankful he's in my live streams because I learn a lot from him. I'm still learning. I'm a newbie here in the Philippines, so if I ever have a question or I'm in doubt, I know that chances are I'm gonna get a good answer from my Master Fortune. We call him Master Fortune. He knows his stuff. Terry Davenport says, do you have a girlfriend there? Yes, Terry, I do have a girlfriend here. Her name is Che. She was actually, I don't know if she's still on the live stream now, but She was in the live stream, but yes, I do have a girlfriend here. White Bread says, do you fish? I haven't fished since I've been here in the Philippines, believe it or not. I did fish when I lived in Florida. Take the, deep sea fishing. Had a friend that had a boat, could go out with him, or just, pay whatever it was back then for 8 hours, 10 hours out in the ocean catching fish. But, I'm not like Joe, experienced, fish or anything like that, but I did enjoy it. But I haven't done it since I've been here. Terry says, my friend does it on $2,500 a month disability. Yeah, $2,500. Yeah, hey, mayung hapon. Yeah, you'd be just fine. Mayung hapon. Terry Davenport says Vietnam. Okay. Stell, I'm gonna just call you Stell. LOS purely for relief. Eight don't get high. I'm not that way. It is like witchcraft. I'm kind of lost in some of these comments. You're not moving without a doctor already. Otherwise, I'll be sick as hell. That's not fun. Someone held my name. I don't know where it was. Mo Falsey said, do you know anything where no, I don't, Mel Fosey. Obviously you hear about all the craziness with people that are just disrespectful here, YouTubers. That's on them. I don't know why you would ever do the things that some of these people have done, but I don't really get into talking about it because none of my business. I'm nothing like that. I love the Philippines, promote the Philippines for my own personal happiness and pleasures. But yeah, I don't really pay much attention to these other people. Like, everybody, whatever decisions you make, you have to live with them. Jeffrey Pop said, girls are beautiful. Yeah, girls, they're beautiful all over the world, though. It depends on what, your preference. Terrible to come off. I don't know what it means. How much you need for drinking money? Heck, I don't drink, so I wouldn't know how much money you need to drink. I don't know if it's cheaper here or less expensive. I can't answer that question about drinking. Joshua said that would be a great place to build casinos at. Possibly. I don't know. You know what? The only place I think I remember there was any type of casino was in Cebu. I didn't go into the casino, but I remember when I flew into Cebu, the hotel that was across the street from the terminal in Cebu, I think there was some sort of casino, some sort of, I don't know, gambling in there, but I don't know what it was. Stelly says, I also would need ostomy bags. Currently, I don't pay a penny for any meds or personal care products. Mo Folsey said, you're a good, respectful man. Well, I get that from my parents. Obviously a little bit of me sprinkled in there somewhere too, but I am the person I am because of my parents. They instilled it in me, obviously, at a very young age. I might not have known it or recognized it when I was younger, but when you look back on it, for me, I'm like, why am I the way I am? Because of my parents. And then the people that I surround myself with too, friends, I appreciate that comment. Why wouldn't you want to be good to other people? And that's just the way I am. How much does the water and electric cost there, more or less than the USA? Jeff Winters, as far as that goes, we just paid. Our water bill was a little higher because Che's been using the washing machine. I think the water was 500 and something pesos for the month. We just paid it the other day. It was like let's just say 500. And then the electric was 2,700, something like that for the month. You would have to convert that into pesos, Philippine pesos. See, that's Derek. There you go, Derek. Don't they pack beer with formaldehyde? That's what I was trying to remember. You just rang a bell in my head. That's what someone told me could have been the chemical that was giving me headaches. Mayung hapon. That's exactly right. Formaldehyde or whatever. People were saying maybe that's what's triggering your headaches. I was having an allergic reaction or whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. Go to the river. Go to the river with rocks. Save money for drinking. Dave Burke says never heat bills there. No, I don't. I don't know. Maybe if you're way up in a Philippine mountain and you just need some heat, but I've never heard about any heat bills whatsoever. If anything, I wish I could turn my air conditioning on colder, but Che gets too cold. So I kind of just turn it at whatever she can handle, and then I don't use a blanket or anything because I'd be cooking. Well, yeah, there you go. Ray says Lynn washes clothes in the shower. Yeah, I mean, they do the bucket routine, whether you're using a bucket in the shower or they just get a big bucket and do the laundry by hand. Now, we don't do all of our laundry by hand. Some stuff Che likes to do, and then I just tell her, hey, the rest of it's gonna go to a laundromat. I don't mind paying for it. Do you wear a smartwatch? No, it tracks my mileage in my phone. I don't need to. I did have a smartwatch before. My young up phone. I did have a smartwatch before. I think it was like a generation Apple Watch, like a 1 or a 2. And then I just stopped wearing it for whatever reason, which was a long time ago. My phone basically covers all that. There you go, 2,000 pesos currently right now is $117. So yeah, electric can be hit or miss depending on how often you run the air condition. To me, that's a big part. But we also cook at home a lot. So where are you gonna spend the money? Are you gonna spend it on, cooking at home? I still think it's probably less expensive to buy your food and cook at home than it is to go out all the time. But like I said, even when I lived in the States, I didn't go out to eat a lot. There weren't many things that I wanted to go out to eat for. For me in the US, going out to eat was either really good pizza, really good cheesesteak, or I don't know what else. He's asking if I ever saw a Harley. I've seen a Harley, well, I think it's one, but maybe it's two. I've seen a Harley twice, but I don't know if it was the same rider on it. He had a helmet on, so I don't know if it was the same person, but believe it or not, I did see a Harley. That's been a while, but I heard it actually first. I was like, that sounds like a Harley, and then I looked and I was like, wow, I never expected to see a Harley in the Philippines. But I think someone said there's a Harley dealer somewhere in the Philippines, if I remember correctly. Do you have the Strava app on your phone? Derek, what is the Strava app? Does that have something to do with my step counter? I just have the one that's built into the phone. If that's what you're talking about. I don't know what the Strava. Lyndon says hi. Ken said, give a tip and you get weird looks. I don't know if I've ever got weird looks, but Stell says, do you find a lot of people wanting to apartment share, or is that too sketchy to do? Apartment share. I'm kind of think I know what you mean. You find a lot of people wanting to do apartment share. You mean to share with other people that you don't know, like strangers? Okay, Derek says it tracks mileage. No, I don't have that app. I just basically have in the iPhone, there's the health app, the heart or whatever. That tracks it all perfectly. That's where I get all like the data from my daily. I basically watch that to see once I get to within, I don't know, like if I'm at 8.5 miles at a certain time, then I know, well, 1.5 miles to walk home, and then I'll hit the 10 by the time I get home. How many wives can you have if you could afford more than one? I have no idea on that question. And here I thought I heard it all. That's funny. I don't know anything about that. Maybe you could have multiple girlfriends. I don't know if you'd want to have multiple wives. Girlfriends would probably be the better, smarter choice. And I don't even know how many you could do with that, because chances are you're going to upset somebody. Can I go into a pharmacy? Terry, that's probably not a good idea, just because I've learned when I go into buildings and stuff, my signal goes wonky. So let me go back down towards the water. So yeah, that can happen. My signal gets kind of wonky when I go into stores and buildings. It's like the signal gets all jacked up. But a pharmacy, it's quite honestly, it doesn't look any different than any pharmacy that you've probably ever been in. I've gone in there on occasion to pick up some things, and I don't have any issues getting in or out of there. It's pretty smooth. Possum says, who the heck wants more than one? Yeah, I think you'd have your hands full. I certainly wouldn't want more than one. Yeah, that would be. But then again, I guess, I don't know. If you're the dating kind and you're not committing to anybody and you're just going on dinner dates or something, maybe you want to meet multiple people until you decide to commit to one. Maybe you date like that. That would be me. But I'm just talking dinner dates. No further than that. But yeah. Are you going to get coconut water today? I saw things. I guess if I'm gonna go get coconut water, I should probably go soon, right? Elon says, more problems, broken heart. Terry says, the families of the girl's parent would be very... Yeah, that's another thing I didn't think about either. You're probably right. Yeah, I mean, things are a little different, especially if you court a Filipina. If you do it the traditional Philippine way and you court somebody, and then you actually commit in that relationship. So yeah, that's different. Yeah, when they say, yeah, Mark says, when they find out about each other, it can get sketchy. Yeah, it's just one of those things. You're better off just like meet one, go out on a coffee date, I don't know, and you're either gonna feel a connection or you're not. But I wouldn't be bouncing, trying to juggle more than one at one time. Just, take your time. There's no rush anyway. Jeff Winter said, do they have weddings here? Oh yeah, of course. They definitely have weddings here, Jeff. Yes, they do. Actually, really good weddings. Their celebrations are really, really nice. Like I went to a baptism. Well, Che and I didn't make the baptism, but we made it for after the baptism, and they had like a celebration party for the baptism christening of their Philippine child, and it was like I felt like you almost feel like you're at a wedding reception. That amazing food, great setup, music. Then they were having like a game show, like they'd get either women that were mothers, and they'd play games and stuff. It was like, yeah, very, very entertaining. Almost felt like a wedding reception. Fortune says, don't to a time Panay, they will get Sabana. I guess that means like jealous. Choi says, do Philippines not really care about age differences? In my experience here, I'd say they really don't. I even know of Filipinos that are married to Filipinas with age gap. It's not just foreigners with Filipinas with age gap. It's even Filipina with a Filipino. There's age gap. Can you pick out your own wife, or the wife family picks out a husband? I don't know of any family picking out someone for you. I'm pretty sure you can just pick your own. I don't know, unless there's somebody that knows something that I don't know. But I'm going to get coconut water if anybody cares. Oh, okay, Fortune says jealous and then fight like hair pulling. Yeah. You don't want anybody pulling out hair. Yeah, that could be a little painful. Yeah, you pick who you like. If she likes you back, then you're on. Yeah. Bob says, my neighbor is 69, his wife from the Philippines is 39. There you go. I don't have a problem with age gap. Obviously, I have one in my relationship. But did I know that was going to occur when I came here? And I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to find, no. This kind of happens that way. Reynolds, there you go. Age doesn't really matter at all. Yeah, it only matters to people that it matters to. I mean, whatever. That's the way I look at it too. I mean, if you're a decent human being and you do things the right way and there's no problem with it. Have you had to go to the... Yeah, I had to go to the hospital one time. I had an injury believe it or not, playing pickleball. Because I had a previous hernia surgery. I've had 2 hernia surgeries over 20 years ago on my left side and my right side. And on occasion, if you do something very strenuous, and I twisted really funny, I don't want to get into what happened, but I basically was running after a loose pickleball to stop it from going too far, to track it down. And when I stepped on the pickleball, it was like I was riding the pickleball as if I was on a piece of ice, and twisted me all up, and injured like where I had a previous hernia operation. And then it caused a little bit of an infection. And they knew right away what it was. And what's nice is that was Riverside Hospital in Bacolod. The nice thing about it that I learned when I went to that hospital was, you go into the hospital, you go to like a receptionist, and then you tell them what specialist you want to meet with. They give you on a piece of paper, they wrote down like 4 doctors, what floor, what room or whatever they're in, and you go to those each floors, and then they have like a little chart with a list. You just put your name on the list while you're waiting to see whoever you can see first. So you skip the kind of going to your primary care physician, and then they, in the US at least, and then they recommend you to that specialist. Here, you just go right to the specialist. And when I went and got the consultation, it was like 750 pesos for the diagnosis. So that was very inexpensive, out of pocket. And then he's prescribed to me some anti-inflammatory and an antibiotic, because I got it caused an infection. And then and that wasn't even that all expensive. It was all out of pocket, and it was actually very smooth. The pharmacy was basically right within the hospital facility, so it was really easy. Just if that gives you an idea. So it's kind of nice to skip going to a primary care physician, explaining what's wrong with you, and then they recommend the specialist, and then you have to schedule that another day and go and see that person. It eliminates all that basically extra time, especially when you already know what your problem is. So yeah, I knew what I did when I hurt myself. I knew it was because of my hernia. Looks like traffic is a free-for-all. Don't see much traffic. Like, no, but and you know what? It's controlled chaos. That's what I call it. It can look like chaos when you first get here. When I first got here, I was like, oh my goodness, how am I ever going to cross the road? But once you experience it, you kind of learn to walk with the flow of traffic. Everybody here in Dumaguete is very pedestrian first mindset as well. I can go out here like I'm doing right now. They'll slow up. They'll let me cross. They're not gonna like honk their horn at me and say, get out of the road. They're very nice here, but I'm getting coconut water now. Hey, Mayung hapon. Here, you too. Mayung hapon. Yeah, just one. Let me get I need to get my change. Yeah, I need my coconut water. What is that? Oh, you want me to try? After I drink that, I'll try. After. Salamat. All right, now I'm gonna drink my coconut water. Oh, yeah, hold on. Thank you. Yeah, they're sharing their snacks with me. That's exactly what he did. After I drink that, then I'll eat. But someone made a comment saying you were sharing your food with me. Yeah, they're very nice here. I told you. They're very nice. You become friends with people. They respect you when you respect them back. That's just common decency. All right, let me try and drink this. Yes, very fresh and full. Yeah, and this one's a very good one. They pick out a very good coconut for me. Hey, Bob says, how's the gas there? You know what, Bob? When I'm done drinking this coconut, the closest gas station, I get asked this question a lot, which I don't mind. I will go by the gas station, and it's per liter, but we'll go check and see how much the gas is when I go by. Oh, there it goes, Kissing the Dream saying, $5.50 per gallon. Robert Faria says hello from Boston. Hello from Boston, Robert. Appreciate you being here. And if you haven't given me a thumbs up like, I'd greatly appreciate it. When you give my channel a like, it just helps my channel grow. That's just the facts. And it also shows that you're enjoying my live stream. Bike gangs everywhere. I don't know about bike gangs. Then we got Jiffy Pop from New Hampshire here. Kissing the Dream says 3.78 per liter in the US. Big snowstorm, but it's done and roads clean. Yeah, I'm from Pennsylvania. I don't miss the snow. Bob says, do they write traffic tickets? If they do, I don't see it. I'm sure they do. If you do something that's inappropriate or being reckless, I've seen other police chasing down other people on motorbikes before, so I think it does happen. Terry Davenport says, man, I would love to come meet with you there. You have to have someone kind of show you the ropes. I could show you as much as I know, but I'm still learning the ropes too. But that's what makes it fun. I enjoy learning things. I don't think I'll ever know everything anyway. Especially when it comes to meeting people here and learning about the culture here. Um, I enjoy learning new things, like adapting, uh, being embraced by the community here. Almost done drinking this. Not too much more. How long it take you to learn the language? Wow, I'm still learning their R's 30. I only know the basics right now. A lot more to learn. One day at a time, one phrase at a time. But the more you learn it, the more you use it, the more the locals appreciate you. And it's just better. It's just fun to communicate in their language. Yes, they know a lot of English, but it's even more fun when you bring a smile to their face because you're speaking their language. I don't want, you can keep it. I'm just gonna try, they want me to try this, so I'm gonna try, just get a small one. See that? So I'm gonna eat the little, it's warm, it's still warm. That's good. Very good, salamat. Very good, thank you. Where'd you buy it? Oh, that cream donuts right there. All right, that's where they buy. I don't eat these very often, but it's actually really good. It's a good thing I'm walking it off. Oh, Kiss in a Dream looked it up, 55.7 per liter. R. Sturdy said, how are African Americans treated? They're treated just fine. They're treated just fine. I don't see any problems, but maybe somebody else has a different story. All right, no, I'm good. Thank you very much. Thank you, salamat. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. That was very good. They gave me a donut. Don't do the crime, won't do the time. Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, and always remember, when you're here, well, in any country, my mindset is you're a guest here in someone else's country. All you simply need to do is respect people. And I don't know why I wouldn't want to respect people anyway. They're so, like I said all the time, they're very nice. Henry Broussard says, how were we doing today? We having a great day? Yeah, I'm having a beautiful day. Sunny, blue skies. I don't know what the temperature exactly is. If I were to guess, I'd say 84, maybe 85 here in Dumaguete. But there's always a breeze. That's why I like it also. Clear from the ocean, how many blocks, streets away, and it's still warm, or have a nice breeze. Yep, common courteous. Common courtesy or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I like being nice to people. They're nice to me too. I've never had anybody like, I don't know, not like be nice. I've never had that experience here as long as I've been here. You know what, to be honest with you, I probably had more not so nice people that are trolls on my channel. I don't have that here in the Philippines, but you do get nasty comments or stuff like that from videos or during live stream, but I don't really pay attention to it. And I know the majority of you guys that are moderators take care of that stupidity anyway. Steve says, time to hit the pool. Yeah, I still got more walking to do. I think I'm going to do pool day tomorrow with Che, at least in the early morning, go swimming for a little bit. Jiffy Pop says, I know, makes me sad for humanity. And that's the problem. Like, it's just like, I get it. Like I said, I've learned by doing YouTube, I've had to learn how to get thick skin. It's kind of different. But when you put yourself in the social media world, YouTube included, although I'm just sharing my happiness, energy, positive vibes, you're still going to get people that are just going to attack you. But like I said, you learn to kind of get thicker skin. It's just unfortunate. It's like the happier you are, the more they come after you. You know, like, I don't know. It's like they're not happy that you're happy, which is a crazy thing to think about. I mean, I don't know what else it could be. Jealousy too, to an extent as well. Yeah, I think it's very clean as well. I know a lot of people will say, oh, it's so dirty, it's blah, blah. I don't see that much. I mean, I don't see it as really much different than any place I've ever been in the United States. Like New York City, I've been there. Like, of course, there's places everywhere that maybe could be cleaner to an extent, but it's not, for me, it's not like to the point where it's just so bad. Mayung hapon, like where it's so bad that it bothers me. But again, some other people, they might not like the air. They might think there's too much smog, or they might think there's too much the exhaust in the air from all the motorbikes. Doesn't really bother me. Mayung hapon. Yeah, it doesn't really bother me. I mean, could it? Maybe, potentially someday, maybe. I don't know. Maybe if you have a pre-existing respiratory type of situation, maybe you would be bothered by exhaust or smoke or something. Bench Bacon says parts of Manila, Pasay, Quezon City are dirtier. Yeah, I mean, again, nothing's perfect. And unfortunately, the same can be said for probably everywhere in the world. You wish you didn't have to go anywhere and everything could be perfect. But guess what? It's not supposed to be perfect. It's what's good enough for you. That's kind of what it comes down to. What's good enough for you and what you're okay with. I miss the jeepney and tuk-tuk rides. Yeah, I noticed, I think when I lived in Bacolod, there were more jeepneys there than I see here. I don't know why. Probably because there's more people and it just makes more sense to have jeepneys in Bacolod. But also the tricycles in Bacolod are much smaller. They can't hold, you'd be lucky if you can fit 2 people in a tricycle there. Maybe 2 Filipinos you can fit in there because they're smaller. But when me and Che got into a tricycle in Bacolod, I mean, I could barely fit in there myself. So they're much smaller, so that's probably why they have more. I think I noticed more jeepneys in Bacolod just because they need something to haul more people. Mark Jameson says, have ever noticed smokers complain about air quality? That's kind of funny when you think about it, because I never actually thought about that. Somebody who's a smoker complaining about the air quality. I can't say I've ever met anybody like that, but that would be funny if I did meet somebody that was complaining about the air quality and then he's standing there smoking a cigarette. That'd be kind of funny. Kissing a Dream says, I like seeing women without filthy tats. Whatever. I'm not a tattoo. Well, I don't have tattoos, meaning, I mean, I know people get all sorts of tattoos for personal reasons or whatever. I just never wanted to, honestly, I couldn't think of any tattoo that I would ever want to get on my body anyway. I guess for me, I can wear a different tattoo every day by just changing my t-shirt and has a different logo or something on it anyway. Mayung hapon. Mayung hapon. You too, mayung hapon. I have seen a lot of Asians smoke cigarettes brand 555. Yeah, I don't. Oh, R30 says, how did you meet your girlfriend? I think you asked me that a while ago, and I apologize. Now, hey, mayung hapon. Happy Thursday. I met Che, my girlfriend, believe it or not, while I was here in the Philippines, but I met her on Facebook. That's how I met her. So yeah, technically I met her boots on the ground here in the Philippines, but on Facebook. That's how we met. I'm trying to... Look at the sky. Okay. It's blue for the most part. Blue sky. Madi Wave says, hey dude. 1982 says hi. Rs30 says cool with the rose. Madi Wave says so chill out there. Ann Higgins says hi from Scotland. Welcome from Scotland. In 1982, if I could read your message, I would read it, but I am not that smart to read that. I'm gonna walk back down towards the ocean one last time. And then he says 10. A lot of Americans want to go for the wrong reasons. So you're saying, Terry Davenport, you're saying a lot of Americans want to come here for the wrong reasons? 1982 says hi. Jinx Wolf says hi from North Dakota. Welcome to Dumaguete, Philippines. Yeah, Terry, I mean, again, coming from me, I don't know everything or a lot of things. In my opinion, based off of my limited experience here, if you're coming to the Philippines or anywhere in Asia, I think it's best just to come because you're looking to explore and learn about a different culture and see another part of the world. And then if you meet a girl along the way, great. But there's a lot of people that do meet their girlfriend online before they come here, and it's successful and it works. I just think for me, after being here a while, I think it's best for me to come here with more of an open mind and want to like travel maybe a little bit, see other places, make friends along the way. And then if something sparks, and then you come together and maybe have a relationship. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. Whatever's meant to be, I guess, will be meant to be, I guess. And somebody, Ricky Woolman, sent a floating heart. And I see Trevor Booker sent a trophy. I appreciate that, you guys, girls. Appreciate the floating heart. Kissing, probably right. I have good morals. I'm gonna try and cross the road. It's just like I said, it's not that bad when you get across the street here. You just kind of go with the flow with everybody else. But I appreciate the super gifts, you guys. Very generous of you. I like to show the water more than me or what I'm looking at. I think that's more interesting than someone says my mug anyway. And yeah, it doesn't seem quite as windy. The water's still choppy though, but oh, I just got something else. I See All Things sent me the Laughing Disco too. Thank you very much. Again, I appreciate all you guys. And if you're new to my channel, my name's Michael from the United States. Born and raised, lived in Pennsylvania the majority of my life, with the exception of 2 years I lived in Florida. So if you haven't given me a like, I greatly appreciate likes. I always have a personal goal of getting to 200 likes daily. I don't know where I'm at right now, but wherever I can get to, whenever I can get to 200, that's like my personal goal. Uh, Deb or Bob said, do people surf there? You know what? I've never seen anybody surf here. At least not yet. I think they do that windsurfing kind of thing maybe, but I haven't seen it. But I think I saw a video somewhere that it looked like the surfboard, but like with the, I think it's called windsurfing. Henry says, living in Florida, you know, about to take the heat and the moisture. Yeah, and I think, you know, I'm making you blue, Henry. You're always here a while. I can honestly say maybe my friend's right, but maybe I'm just getting so used to being here. I don't feel like it's as humid here as it was in Florida. Again, it's hot because you're closer to the equator and the sun's stronger, but I really don't, I don't know, maybe it's just me. There's always a breeze, which is the same way in Florida. When I lived by the beach there was always a breeze. Digital Tripper says it looks so nice there. Hello from Arizona. I appreciate you being here. Kissing a Dream says, as an expat New Yorker living south, I am naturally suspicious. Unfortunately, American life, I am always on guard. Pacific Ocean is the gateway to the ice ring, aka Antarctica. Lisa Hicks says hi from New Jersey. Oh wait, from New Hampshire and Hawaii? Wow. You're as close to the creator as you can be. Yeah. Henry says, see, I live in Louisiana on the Gulf Coast and the United States. Yeah, it's really nice today. Does it cost a lot to use Visa card transfer to pesos? Depending on how you do it, there are like transaction fees and stuff like that at ATM, depending on how you have it set up. Florida is hotter concrete everywhere where rainwater sits on the freeways and just steams. Greg says, hi from the UK. I see all things. Thanks for bringing us along. Always fun and educational. Good night and good day. Hey, I see all things. Thank you very much. Hey, no problem, R30. And anybody, if I missed you, if I missed your questions or comments, I sincerely apologize. It can be challenging. I try to do my best. Greg says hello from the UK. Thanks for bringing us along. Always fun and educational. Sturdy, thanks for answering. Hey, Grant says hi from Canada, minus 11. Minus 11. Stella says, can you get a good steak? You can get good steak. Now, I don't know about T-bone or tomahawk steaks, but there are places you can get good steaks around here in the Philippines. Thailand, probably even better options. Reynolds says, you're so lucky to live by the water. It's so beautiful out there. Yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, if I'm going to be on an island somewhere, I need to be close to the ocean. I mean, I know some people enjoy being more inland and they have to travel more to the ocean. I like being able to walk, always have an ocean. It doesn't necessarily have to be a beautiful beach. Kissing a Dream says, Dumaguete, 88 degrees. All right, well, there you go. So it's 88. Don't feel like it here by the water. Mo Goose says, thank you for being an upstanding Democratic buddy. Jim says there is more heat and humidity in Manila than in the province. Yeah, I'm sure it is hot. I guess in Manila you're kind of landlocked too. You're away from the, you know, this is what I like, the breeze, the water. Do you see much homeless and beggars? You see it on occasionally, but quite honestly, I don't really even notice it. It's not like it's anything I haven't seen before. I've been in plenty of places in the States and I've seen the same thing. I don't really focus on it. I feel sorry for people, but I do my best. I try to help who I can help. I wish I could help everybody. I really do. And you just do the best you can do. Steve Bryan says, thanks for sharing. I enjoyed. Have a good day and good night. The ocean is relaxing. Welcome to the chat. Like to subscribe. Yeah, if anybody hasn't given me a like, looks like I'm maybe 7 away from 200. If you guys can push me to 200, that would be great. But I don't know if it's going to happen. 193. Have you seen people eating balut eggs? Yeah, my girlfriend's had them. I've never seen her eating them, but she's eaten them. I've never tried balut. I haven't done it yet. Jimmy Brown is here. Reynolds says done like 196. Appreciate the likes though. That's like a big deal. For me anyway. Somi says hi. Kind of going back for these things. K Grant, so Canada, I did see that. But that's interesting. Lisa Hicks had said hi from New Hampshire, but she's from Hawaii. So you're from Hawaii in freezing cold New Hampshire. That's kind of wild. Jim says, me and my amazing Filipina married in the Philippines 8 years ago. Just find the right one. For now, we living in Indiana. You have another, she's a Filipina living in Indiana with her foreigner husband in Indiana. We just met them recently. They came here over kind of after the Christmas holidays and met them, and they're back in Indiana now. Go wading in the ocean. Yeah, I'm not gonna jump in there right now. It probably would feel good. Terry Davenport says, I have been to Kyoto, Japan. Yeah, Japan's #1 on my list to someday visit. I wouldn't mind going to visit Japan someday. That's the #1 country that I would love to go to first. Whether or not that happens, I don't know, but I would like to go to Japan for at least 2 weeks and see all that I can see in 2 weeks. I really enjoy your live. I'm thinking about Vietnam. Hey, try Vietnam, Terry. I'm in favor of anybody. You gotta try it to see if you like it. I've heard good things. My friend was in Da Nang, Vietnam, went there for 2 weeks. He had nothing but great things to say about it. Just like there's people that have nothing but great things to say about here in the Philippines. Just visit, learn. You'll get that vibe or not, and but at least you can always say you've been there. I would definitely do that. Da Nang, Vietnam is on my list. Thailand, Bangkok, Hua Hin, that would be nice. But Japan's always been first, whether or not that's first. There you go, backpack in Japan, that would be fun. Ricky Woolman says, are you still working in the Philippines? No, Ricky, I'm retired. I'm retired, strictly living off my pension and savings. That's what I'm living off of. So I see all things taken care of. Sonny, hey, yeah, that's right, Sonny boy, I remember you. I'm making you blue. I've seen you a lot. Welcome back, Sonny boy. Good to see you again, Mike. Interesting as usual. I went to Kyoto with a big band, so I was working security most of the time I was there. That would be fun. At least that gave you an opportunity to go to Japan. So that's really, I just think I'm very intrigued by Japan. I think the country's beautiful that I've seen from videos and reading about it. And, I think it would be a lot of fun. Jim says, my favorite Philippine food would be chicken adobo, any adobo for that matter. Lumpia, which is like the egg roll. Pork sisig, good. Obviously rice is life. But yeah, chicken adobo would definitely be my favorite. And then there's a soup. It's a Philippine soup. I can't remember the name of it, and I should, but it's like a soup. I do like that too. People who ask to be mods get on my nerves. Sankey, okay. I I don't think, quite honestly, when I give people mods, they're not even asking for it. I just do it just because they show continued support, and eventually as I see you, I just make you a mod just to show my appreciation. Can you work from there? I guess you could. I don't know about the whole working thing here in the Philippines. J1 D says, I spent 8 years in Japan. Man, you probably learned a lot in 8 years. Sam, coolest cat, love show. Thank you very much. Kung Po chicken with OMG. Oh, with shrimp. I see the shrimp now. I have a long way to go before I retire. Well, Trucker B, just set goals, save what you can save. Just try to make your dreams come true. For me, don't spend the rest of your life talking about it and then talk yourself out of it. Try to do it if you can. Sammy says, you plan on staying there forever? Not forever. I wouldn't think forever. I could end up living somewhere else. For now, I'm here. At some point, I'm going to go back to the States, I'm sure, just to visit. No immediate plans right now, unless, worst case scenario, mother and father had like a medical situation, emergency. April says, Kamusta ka from the Philippines, Mabuti to April. Thank you for being here, April. Wonder Bucket said, did they find the body? I don't know about that question. Fish head soup, sweet and sour, LOL. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you for all being in my live stream once again. I greatly appreciate the support. I'm humbled all the time. Apologize for the wind, but again, the walk-in live streams is a lot of fun. I get to show you how amazing and the wonderful people and how happy I am here in the Philippines. And maybe it inspires somebody through each live stream to maybe just take a leap of faith and live life, because you never know. Just get out and enjoy life and see other parts of the world, and brings you a whole different perspective, opens your eyes. It certainly did to me. So take care. April, thank you. Bob, thank you. Stelly, thank you. Everybody, I appreciate you being here. I lost 2 pounds just watching. You guys are great. Thank you. I'm humbled. God bless you all. Hope to see you guys again. I'll be back tomorrow around the same time. Hopefully a beautiful day. As long as there's no rain, which I don't expect any, but I'll be back. Thank you. Peace, love, happiness. You guys have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at. Thank you a lot. I appreciate it. Talk to you guys later. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.